Jai. Oh, that's amazing. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. So thank you so much for inviting me to your forum. I'm equally happy and excited to be with all of you this evening for me. And first of all, I want to pay my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees there. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So with this, we'll begin. So you gave me a certain verse and you want me to recite that verse, right? With the purport.
That's right.
Okay. So yes. So here we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 8, verse number 35. Dhruva uvacha soyam samo bhagavata sukha dukkha hatatmanam darshita kripaya pumsham durdarshosmad vidhestuyam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhruva Maharaj said, "My dear Lord Naradji, for a person whose heart is disturbed by the material conditions of happiness and distress, whatever you have so kindly explained for attainment of peace of mind is certainly a very good instruction. But as far as I am concerned, I am covered by ignorance, and this kind of philosophy does not touch my heart." Purport. There are various classes of men. One class is called akamis, referring to those who have no material desire. Desire must exist, either material or spiritual. Material desire arises when one wants to satisfy one's personal senses. One who is ready to sacrifice anything to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be said to have spiritual desire. Dhruva did not accept the instruction given by the great saint Narada because he thought himself unfit for such instruction, which prohibited all material desire. It is not a fact, however, that those who have material desires are prohibited from worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the essential instruction from the life of Dhruva. He frankly admitted that his heart was full of material desires. He was very much affected by the cruel words of his stepmother, whereas those who are spiritually advanced do not care about anyone's condemnation or adoration. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that persons who are actually advanced in spiritual life do not care for the dual behavior of this material world. But Dhruva Maharaj frankly admitted that he was not beyond the affliction of material distress and happiness. He was confident that the instruction given by Narada was valuable, yet he could not accept it. The question raised here is whether or not a person afflicted by material desire is fit to worship Supreme Personality of Godhead. The answer is that everyone is fit to worship Him. Even if one has many material desires to fulfill, he should take to Krishna consciousness and worship the Supreme Lord. Krishna, who is merciful, that He fulfills everyone's desire. Who is merciful, that He fulfills everyone's desire. Through this narration, it will become very clear that no one is barred from worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even if one has many material desires. Do I have to read 36, 37 and 38 also?
No, Mother, you can just summarize them.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chukshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vamsi Vibhuta Shitakara Navam Niradabha Pitambara Runabimba Faladarushta Purnendu Sundara Mukharavinda Netra Krishnat Param kimapi tattvam aham na jane. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Very, very wonderful verse. In fact, Dhruva Maharaj's whole pastime is very, very special for all of us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because this was one pastime that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to regularly hear when he was in Jagannath Puri. And he used to go to that temple of Tota Gopinath, and in that garden from the mouth of Gadadhar Pandit, he used to keep on hearing two pastimes, two special pastimes. One is Dhruva Maharaj and one is Prahlad Maharaj, and again and again. And when the whole pastime was like completed till the end, and then again he would ask him to start it from the beginning as if he has never heard it before, hear it with the same intensity, and then cry and cry and cry. And with those tears, the writings of Bhagavatam, fourth canto, were getting erased, and with that much love and ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. And even otherwise speaking, hearing about a little kid who was able to achieve which the yogis and everybody in the whole universe is trying to achieve, to have that direct darshan of the Lord, and he could just do it within 6 months, is something really glorious. And somewhere in our heart, we also feel very beautiful when we see a little boy did it. I mean, usually we don't expect that much from children. Even in Krishna consciousness, we exempt and discount them in so many things. Okay, that the kids can't do. But here we see Dhruva Maharaj, such an amazing feat he has achieved. And Dhruva Maharaj pastime is something very close to my heart also, because when I was a little girl in the school in class 3, we enacted this Dhruva Maharaj pastime. And it was very special for me because actually I became Dhruva Maharaj's mother in the drama Suniti, and at that moment I was very upset about it, because the other girl, my friend who became Suruchi, she got to dress in beautiful sari and ornaments with all the makeup, and I was asked by my teacher that you simply wear a dirty sari which is torn here and there, and that's all your makeup. And I thought, why do I have to do this role? And I was literally arguing with my teacher, why can't you make me Suruchi? I want to look beautiful. Why am I given this white sari and just, But then, of course, I mean, now I realize that was a glorious role to be played. So amazing, and this whole pastime of how Dhruva Maharaj is. Actually, from Dhruva Maharaj pastime, there is not one to hundreds of lessons we as sadhakas, as practicing devotees can imbibe. His determination, I mean, how a little boy had so much determination. His austerities, I mean, not eating anything, simply surviving in water, or simply, and controlling his breath. His faith on his Guru Narad Muni, and his faith on the instruction of his mother. When his mother said that, nobody can help you, Dhruva, only Krishna can help you, only the Lord can help you. Now you go to the forest and you ask whatever you want from the Lord. And he had such faith on his mother's instruction, such faith on Narad Muni. When he told him, okay, you chant this mantra, you go to Madhuvan, you do this, he did it as it is. So his determination, his faith, his detachment, he was like, he didn't try to be in his comfort zone and, okay, I will just do it from my palace. He actually went out there, leaving all the royal facilities that he had, and he went inside the forest and he performed it. And little children, I'm sure, even if they do make a resolution, there are always chances that, in somewhere down the line, they may like, I can't do it anymore. But to keep it going day after day, months after month, and then he finally achieved it. And the most important lesson when I was reading through this evening, I felt was in this particular verse, the lesson we get from Dhruva Maharaj's this particular behavior is he was not a pretender. He was not hypocrite. He was so honest. When Narad Muni gives him this instruction that, look, if you are a little child, if you consider yourself a little child, then don't worry. This kind of things keep happening. Sometimes the parents scold, they may call you fool and rascal, but the children, they don't mind. In the play, they just forget it. Oh, or if you think, no, you're not a child and you're very mature and you have lot of wisdom, then also you should not consider this insult, because what is there in this world? If somebody says harsh word and all, we're supposed to think it is my previous karma and we're supposed to forgive. So in either cases, this kind of behavior is, not sought from you, and you better go back home. And after hearing all these instructions from Narad Muni, the fact that Dhruva Maharaj very honestly admits that whatever you are saying is right, whatever instructions are good, but me, because I am covered by ignorance, I am unable to accept your instruction. And I felt, what Dhruva Maharaj did in this verse is the foundation of every devotee's spiritual life. If we can also be like Dhruva Maharaj, honest to the core, this is what I am, and can you please start instructing me from where I am, then our Krishna conscious life will be so beautiful and amazing. But the problem is sometimes somebody else's realization becomes my knowledge, somebody else's goal becomes my goal, and I am not even sure if I want to do it, but I say it because everybody says it, and I do it because I think maybe that's what everybody is doing it. Then it doesn't work. We need to be honest in Krishna consciousness. Well, this is where I stand, and now what am I supposed to do? These are the anarthas that I have. These are my weaknesses. This is what I am. Now from here, where should I go? And that will be so nice, and that will help us immensely. Just like in the material world, if we are suffering from some disease and we go to a doctor, we are not reluctant or in explaining to the doctor the real situation of our body. If we are suffering from motions, we tell the doctor without being shy about it. Oh, I have been using the restroom so many times from the morning, and we are absolutely okay with that. Because if we hide something from the doctor, then he can't give us the right medicine. So here Dhruva Maharaj is so honest with his guru. Your instructions are good, but I can't follow it. As of now, I am not in that mental state. I have come here with a material desire, and my whole mind is on that desire, and I want that desire. So can you help me with that? So that is very amazing, because in Krishna conscious life, like Prabhupada always said, that it is simple, but it is not easy. Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple. But if we start being hypocrite, then it becomes complicated. But if we are simple, then it's very simple. If we can just very honestly, okay, this is where I am, this is what I am doing, this is what I am unable to do, then there is help. There is help available, and from there on we can move higher. But if we start pretending, and if we start wearing mask, in fact, even Krishna talks about it in Bhagavad Gita 3.6. He says, Mithyachara. If somebody outwardly is showing the restraint of senses, but inside he is always meditating on the sense objects and all, then that is Mithyachara, pretender. Then he is a pretender. So in Krishna consciousness, our aim of life is to become a devotee, not a pretender. So if we stop wearing the mask, like I've been telling in my classes, that there are always these three lives that we are living. There is one a public life, then there is one a private life, and then there is one a secret life. There is a public life which your people know, then there is a private life which your family knows, and there is a secret life which it's between you and Krishna. But when all the three lives are aligned and become one, then one can progress in Krishna consciousness so wonderfully. But if one starts wearing mask just to look nice to others, and then wear another mask just to look nice to somebody else, and then somebody else, and mask after mask after mask, and after some time we really forget what we actually are or what we actually wear. So the whole point is to not have any mask. In fact, these anarthas or whatever weaknesses we have, if we hide it, then over a period of time they multiply. But if we open up something, then it actually comes down very slowly, and kramena, by step it will come down. I'm just reminded of this one a story I had heard of a man who was trying to do hunting in a forest which is like an endangered forest. He was not supposed to, sanctuary, he's not supposed to do hunting there. But he was doing it illegally. And then he ended up killing a wolf. But the wolf was almost half killed. And then he hears the voice of tires, screeching tires, maybe some vehicle is approaching. So he got worried now. Looks like the forest officer must be out for rounds, and if he catches me doing it, I will be imprisoned. So what should I do now? So he had come well prepared. He had this big, long coat. So he took this little deer, which was half dead, and put it behind him inside the coat, and he immediately buttoned up his clothes and coat, and then he sat there. So as soon as the forest officer, he came out from his jeep, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Oh, he said, "Nothing. I'm just a nature lover, so I'm just looking around. Oh, everything is so beautiful here." Then the forest officer came and sat next to him on a bench, and they both started having a chat. Then the forest officer was saying, "Oh yeah, even I am a lover of nature. This is so beautiful." And they had a conversation for some time. And after that, the forest officer decided to go back. So when he decided to go back and he climbed his jeep and left, this man who had a dead wolf inside his coat, what exactly happened is the wolf was not completely dead. So the wolf started eating his flesh from the inside. And by the time the forest officer left, even this man died because the wolf inside his coat had almost eaten up his flesh. So this is what happens with our anarthas. When we hide them inside a big black coat, they're actually eating us away from inside. And nobody realizes. Even the people around us, they think that we are okay, we were just like we were. But what is happening from inside, even though we may still be wearing kantimala, we may still be wearing tilak, we may still look like devotees, we may still have a devotee lingo, but something inside us is dead. We may not be physically dead, but the bhakti inside us is dead. So this happens when somebody tries to hide the anarthas. But instead, if somebody is open about it, okay, this is what is my problem, then there will be so many helping hands in this Vaishnav community. Srila Prabhupada has given us such beautiful community, and they can help us out if we let them know what is our problem. In fact, there should be at least one person in this world. Sometimes in ISKCON we use this word that spiritual master should know. But practically, we may not have access to spiritual master. Rather, spiritual master may be having many disciples or many people whom they are mentoring to, or that on day-to-day basis we can't share our anarthas with them. But what we can do is at least we can have somebody in our community whom we can trust, whom we know will not judge us, and they should know where we are. Because sometimes for a devotee and a sadhaka, sometimes it may be de-inspiring also to actually go about and tell everybody that these are my anarthas. We may not want to disclose it to everybody, but at least every devotee in their life should have at least one person in their life who knows them as they are, without any mask. If everybody has that just one person in their life, then they can progress in Krishna consciousness, because that person will be like a kavacha, help them from further degrading and protect their Krishna consciousness and keep them alive in Krishna consciousness. So this is one thing I really liked about this verse is Dhruva Maharaj being so honest and open. And he says here, I'm covered by ignorance. See, what exactly he means here is that, sometimes we are in different modes when we are existing in this world. Sometimes we are in the mode of sattva, sometimes rajas, sometimes we get covered by tamas. Even in a 24 hours time also, so many modes we pass through. Let's say we have a 50,000 rupees cash in our hand. Maybe sometimes, when we are in sattvic mode, early morning, we may think, oh, what should I do? Maybe I should go and give it to the temple and I donate it maybe for some needy people. And then as afternoon approaches, you get into a little bit rajasic mode. You may think, no, I think I will use it to buy a cell phone. And then as, evening, you get into tamasic mode. You may think, no, I think I better use it for, maybe engaging in some illegal activities. So now the same person in different times of the day, due to different associations or different kind of situations, may change. So Dhruva Maharaj is talking here. He said, as of now, because he's in anger, he's angry over his stepmother and all. He said, I'm so much covered by ignorance that whatever you say, it's not going to enter into my heart. As of now, I need a different solution. You're solacing words and this is not going to work out. So even in our Krishna consciousness also, if we are too much covered by materialistic activities, materialistic desire, materialistic association, even if we hear classes, they may not pierce inside our heart. It's like when we go to Mayapur ISKCON temple, there is this huge place, Gada Bhavan, where they have this prasadam they serve for hundreds and thousands of people together at a time, which is very amazing. And they have this very wonderful system. When they give prasadam, they'll give you all items. You can eat everything, but they'll never give you the sweet till the last, and when you are just about to get up now, your plate is clean and you think there's nothing more to do, you'll wind up at that time they come with kheer. And I used to always wonder, why do they do that? Why can't they give it beforehand? But the whole point is, when your plate is clear and now when they give you that kheer, you really enjoy the sweet rice, you can enjoy the taste. But if they would have given it to you when you are with that rice and dal and whole mixture, then you can't enjoy the taste of that sweet. So similarly, what happens is that if we immerse ourselves too much with material desire, materialistic association, material aspiration, material situation, at that time, even if some nice instructions come to us, even if somebody is saying something so nice, it doesn't go inside our heart. So we have to consciously make an effort. If we want to be serious in Krishna consciousness, we have to consciously make an effort to increase Krishna consciousness, at the same time even decrease our material activities or material associations. Then it's going to work faster. Even if you don't decrease, ultimately one day it will work, because Krishna Katha is very powerful, but it's just going to take a little bit more time. I'm reminded of this one story I had heard in my childhood. There was this one man who was very rich. Everything in his life was going wonderful. But then suddenly, because of some famine and all, there were lots of losses and he had to close his factory where he used to produce oil. So now, because he became a little poor and financially suffering, so he went to a sadhu in the village. So he told the sadhu that I want to come to in spiritual life, I want to be active in spiritual life, but now because of my financial losses, I am unable to concentrate. If my financial problem is sorted out, I can become Krishna conscious. Then the sadhu said, oh, that's all. Oh, don't worry, I have a Chintamani stone, the touchstone. And if this touchstone touches iron, then it becomes gold. So go ahead and take this stone. And whatever iron barrels are there, because he was having an oil factory, he said, whatever those big iron barrels are there, just put the touchstone into that, and then they will turn into gold, and then you will become rich and you can happily continue your Krishna consciousness. You will have all the time. So he became very happy. He took the touchstone and he left. And the sadhu was waiting that now, because everything will turn into gold, he will become rich and now he will continue his sadhana. But he never came. 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. Then the sadhu got a little curious. What happened? So the sadhu went in search for him, and he actually where he was, he went to his residence, and he found that he was still in a very poor and miserable condition. So sadhu asked him, hey, what happened? Then he said, Sadhu, Maharaj, please don't talk to me. I don't even want to see your face. Why? What did I do wrong? You cheated me. What way I cheated you? You said you were giving me a touchstone which touches the iron and it's going to become gold, and I tried it, but it's a hopeless stone. It doesn't work. Sadhu said, no, it cannot be possible. I gave you a real stone, a proper stone. Then the sadhu asked, okay, give me back the stone, where it is. He said, it's there in my factory. So they all together went to the factory. So now he said, where is that touchstone? He said, I just put it inside one of the iron barrels, and the iron barrel never turned into gold. Sadhu said, okay, let me see it. So the sadhu climbed the ladder because they are huge barrels. So he climbed the ladder, and then he peeped in. When he peeped in, what he saw is that the touchstone had never touched the iron because there were so many cobwebs, because this was not used for many years. So the touchstone was actually, like a swinging on one of the webs, and it hadn't even touched the iron. Then the sadhu showed the businessman, look, it is not even touched the iron, that's why it hasn't worked. So sometimes, this is what happens in our life also, because of too much rajasic and tamasic and so many activities that we do. Even if we are hearing wonderful Krishna Katha, or we are chanting, it's not making much effect on us because it's already full of so many cobwebs that we have accumulated maybe from previous lifetimes or from so many millions of lifetimes. So here, Dhruva Maharaj is so very honest. He says, you are giving a wonderful instruction, but I am unable to comprehend it because as of now my mind is on that one desire, and if you can help me with that, you please help me with that. And there was one point that I liked when Srila Prabhupada was saying in the purport, where Prabhupada says that whether one is having no desire or many desire or material desire, that does not disqualify one from worshipping Lord. Even if you have material desire, you are fit to worship Lord. And that was very nice. In fact, in Bhagavatam, elsewhere, in many other places, in second canto, this one very beautiful verse comes, says that akama, sarva kama, moksha kama udaradhi, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Even if you have akama, no desire, or sarva kama, you have many, many desires, or moksha kama, you just want to have liberation, that's all right. That doesn't matter. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Just do bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. So this is what we need to do. Whether we have desire, one desire or many desire, only Krishna. Krishna is a monopoly God. Love Krishna. Hate only Krishna. Envious of Krishna. Angry only on Krishna. We have this verse in Bhagavatam, where we hear about different types of devotees. The gopis, they had lust for Krishna. Kamsa, he was envious of Krishna. Or Shishupal was envious of Krishna. Kamsa was angry on Krishna. Whatever it is, but with Krishna. If with Krishna, then there is purification. Whatever it is, somehow or the other, we need to have a relationship with Krishna, no matter what it is. But if we are in connection with Krishna, then we are purified. So whenever we have a discussion amongst the devotees, there is always this one question in our mind: is it okay to have material desire? Are we not supposed to have only spiritual desires? Ask nothing from Krishna, but only that Krishna, I should become your pure devotee, I should go back to Goloka Vrindavan, I should serve you. So, not everybody can come to that platform. The one rule of Krishna consciousness is that before becoming a pure devotee, let us become a devotee. That is a pure devotee where there is no desire. But to come to that level, first of all, we have to become a devotee. If we want to have a relationship with Krishna which is like nishkama, then at least we should, to start with, we need to have at least a relationship with Krishna, to have a pure relationship with Krishna. So, and this relationship happens when you are in touch with Krishna. And to be in touch with Krishna, you'll have to have something to do with Krishna which is very much relevant to your present. So sometimes, devotees are like, no, I cannot ask for material desires because I want to become a pure devotee. So even if I'm suffering materially, I have some issues. Maybe I have relationship issues, I have financial issues, or I have health issues. I have so many issues. But no, I want to become pure devotee. I'll ask nothing from Krishna. It's not practical, because what happens is, if you are doing that, what you're actually doing it, you are disconnecting yourself from Krishna. Because it's not that we have become Paramahansa. So it's not that even if I have, I'm suffering, I'm having some very, painful disease, but I'm not a Paramahansa where I have separated myself from body and I don't feel any more pain. No, I'm pained. If somebody in my family is suffering, I'm pained. But I feel I should not ask Krishna. Then what is happening is, my heart is there with my family member, but then I keep continuing worshipping Krishna ritualistically. So it's not making sense. But instead, if I include that in my prayer, and then I pray more fervently and more seriously, then that makes my connection with Krishna very strong. So at the same time, one doesn't need to go to extreme like only asking for material desires, neither another extreme where only asking for spiritual desire. It needs to be a combination. What do you need when? See, why are we worried about not asking material things from Krishna? Is that sometimes in that process of asking only material thing from Krishna, our relationship with Krishna may become very superficial. It may become very utilitarian relationship. I just need something from him, but I don't have any relationship with him. But whenever I come in front of Krishna, I just have my list ready. Just do this for me, but that's it. And I have nothing to. So I have nothing else to do with you. So no, we are not aiming for that kind of relationship. I mean, this is what I need, my Lord. Even if you are unable to help me, but I still love you, and I know you, my well-wisher. But as of now, this is what is disturbing me, and please help me with that. So there's no issue. There's nothing wrong in asking Krishna, because that way we are having some kind of an interaction with him, and that interaction with Krishna is one that purifies. And the other issue is about what's wrong with asking material desire is that if you are asking material desires to Krishna without having adequate knowledge about Krishna's position, about the position of this material world, about your relationship with Krishna, if you don't have proper knowledge of all these things, then what will end up happening is that after fulfillment of this desire, you will ask another desire, and then you will ask another desire, because the problem is there is no end for our wish and desire in this world, because this is how the material world is. There will always be some things that you don't have. If you make a list of things that you have, then make a list of the things that you don't have. Always the list of the things that you don't have may be very lengthy. So the whole point is, if we should not make it a habit to keep on staring and craving for things that are on that list, the things that I don't have. And if we make it as a habit, even if we are able to move maximum things from the list of things I don't have to the list of things I have, it's not going to make much difference, because there will always be something remaining on that list which you don't have, because nobody in this world can have everything. There will always be something that you don't have. So the whole point is, one needs to work on that habit itself, where we don't crave and stare for things and that we don't have. So the whole point is to have that understanding that Krishna is not only a fulfiller of our desire, he is the fulfillment of our desire. The whole point is to get Krishna. That's the goal of our life, not a fulfilling, constant supplier of our desires that we keep making. So our relationship should not become utilitarian. We should have a proper understanding, otherwise it will become very superficial. But at the same time, the good thing about asking material desire from the Lord is that you will have an active relationship with Krishna, not a passive one. You are actively interacting with him and actively talking to him and expecting his reciprocation, and reciprocating back with him, and that kind of interaction is very, very healthy. Otherwise our bhakti will become very passive. At the same time, when we ask something from the Lord, even Lord is very happy. Just like the parents of an estranged boy, if the boy comes after many years and says, "My dear father, can you help me with that?" It's not that the father will be like, "Oh, you never came so many years and now you want your desire." No, the father is like, "What took you so long to come to me? I was always there for you." This is what is the mood of Krishna also. It's not that he thinks, last 15 years you never bothered about me. Now that you are in trouble, you came to me. No, Krishna says, okay, what took you so long? I've been always waiting to help you in whatever way I can. And by thinking of Krishna, remembering Krishna, praying to Krishna, we are forming a habit of keeping him in our smaranam, in our remembrance. And if we remember Krishna, then we don't have to, become a remember of this material world. The membership that we have of this material world, if we remember him, then we don't have to become a remember of this material world and take birth again and again. So yes, it's not best to ask material things from Krishna, but it's okay. Instead of having no relationship for Krishna, having some relationship with Krishna is better. So yes, good is the enemy of best, but at least good is better than bad. So instead of having no relationship, if we have some relationship where we ask something for Krishna, it's okay. But at the same time, just because we're having this discussion right now here, we don't have to come down. If we are already not asking anything material from Krishna, it's not that we should start asking just to have a relationship. It's not required. Everybody is on a different level. For example, if a child comes to his father and says, "My dear father, I've scored 75% in maths," and the other child comes and says, "I've scored 75%. Now, the father is angry with one child and the father is very happy with one child. Now, somebody may say, "Why this discrimination? Both have got the same marks." But the difference is, this boy got 45% last exam, so he has done better from 45 to 75. And this boy had 95 in his previous exam and now is come down to 75. So with us also, if you're already doing good, we don't have to come down. But then those who are not even remembering Krishna, they never even come to temple, but if they have started coming just because they have a material desire and they want to fulfill it, then that's wonderful. Krishna is definitely going to become very happy, because it's a step up. It's a step up from no relationship to at least some relationship. Now, if we ask only for spiritual thing, then what happens? Like a disadvantage. What happens if you ask only for spiritual things and you don't ask for material things? Now, what happens is your prayer becomes very ritualistic. Why? Because my present need may be my immediate health problem that I'm suffering from. And what I'm praying is not for my health problem, but I'm praying for, please, I want to come back to Goloka Vrindavan. So now what happens? It's not my present need. It's not my urgent need. As a result, I may not realize, but my prayer will become very artificial and ritualistic. Because somewhere in my mind, I'm suffering. My health is not good, but I'm praying something else. Or rather, my child's health is not good, but I'm praying something else. But that is what is in my mind largely. So what is happening is I won't be able to invest my complete emotion in that prayer where I'm telling Krishna, I want to come back to Goloka Vrindavan. Why? Because my emotion as of now is invested in my child who is in ICU. So my whole emotion is with the child. So now what happens is my prayer with Krishna is very, very artificial and very, very, not heart deep, but just lip deep. It's what I can do. So that's a disadvantage. But instead, I have heard of devotees who have shared with me that how during the time of crisis, like during the COVID or when their loved ones were in the hospital, or how their prayers were so intense and how their relationship with Krishna became all the more stronger, how their chanting was all the more wonderful because now they had some present problem and then they connected to Krishna and they could give their whole heart in that prayers to Krishna. So yes, if we are sometimes not asking the things that we are presently suffering from, then we are actually disconnecting the bigger part of our heart from Krishna. Now, whether we should ask material, only spiritual, or combination. Now, what we can do is we can ask from Krishna the things that we value, but we can only what we can only do is change the context or change our intention. For example, rather than changing the things that we ask from Krishna, for example, let me say if I ask Krishna for health, or I ask Krishna for wealth, or I ask Krishna for some, that I have good relationships, I can't change that now because These are the things I value. I need them. I need good health. I need good wealth. I need these things. Now, I can't change the things that I value. But what I can do is I can change the reason why I value them. So now, when I pray to Krishna for this job, I need this job desperately, because if I have a stable job, then I can come to temple regularly, then I can donate to the temple, then I can serve you nicely. I want my relationships to be wonderful so that I can concentrate on my chanting. I want my health should be nice so that I can serve you, Krishna. So what we have done here is we've just changed the reason why we value them. But we can't change the value of those things in our life because we need them. So that's the only difference we can make. Because, see, the whole point is sometimes we very narrowly define the word spiritual. It's spiritual does not only mean things, anything that connects us to Krishna is spiritual. Anything that reminds us of Krishna, anything that can be used in Krishna's service is spiritual. So we don't have to worry about this is material, this is spiritual. Just take that and connect it to Krishna. Then it becomes spiritual. In fact, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, was once asked a question by somebody, how should I manage my spiritual and material life? And my Guru Maharaj said, oh, you have 2 lives? Really? I have only 1 life. How come you're living 2 lives? There is only 1 life. So whatever you're doing, do it for Krishna, and that becomes spiritual. So where is the question of having material life and then having a separate spiritual life? Just have 1 life. When whatever you're doing it, do it for Krishna, and that becomes spiritual, So how should we make our prayer right? How can we make it right? Is that if we hear seriously, if we hear the scriptures on regular basis, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, then automatically we will value things which are need to be valued. We will understand how much importance to be given to what. We will not be illusioned, because these eyes, they put us into illusion, and these ears, they get us into illumination, means they enlighten us. So we have to use these ears to keep on hearing Bhagavatam and scriptures on regular basis. Then we will understand the value of spiritual things in our life. See, as of now we do it because we just do it. Everybody does it. So we have been told to ask for service. We've been told to ask that I want to go back home. But when we actually read, then it actually comes from the inside. Yes, I want to go back home. I want to go back home, back to Krishna. Yeah, we start valuing spiritual things, and we understand how much importance to be given to material things. So yes, nothing wrong, as Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, that everybody is qualified to worship Krishna, whether you have material desires, or you have spiritual desire, or you have no desire. So yes, we can aspire to develop a pure relationship with Krishna, but we should act to develop a real relationship with Krishna, not a superficial relationship, a real relationship. Just like you have a real relationship with a friend. When you have a relationship with a friend, then you don't make a partition. These are the things I will discuss with my friend, but these are the topics I will not discuss with my friend. No, a friend is a friend. You discuss everything with your friend. Similarly, Krishna is your friend or brother or whatever relationship you have, and there should be no departmentalization or partition. These I will ask for Krishna, but this is material, so I will not ask. This is spiritual, I will ask. No, everything. Whatever I want, I will ask from Krishna. Whatever it is I have to do with Krishna. That should be our mood. The whole focus should be on connection with Krishna. The whole focus should be on connecting our heart to Krishna rather than purifying our heart. If we simply focus on connecting our heart, purification will happen automatically. But here we artificially try to purify it by saying, no, I will never ask material things, only spiritual. That way I will purify. No, you can ask, just be connected. Somehow be connected to Krishna, and then purification will happen automatically. You see, that is why in Srimad Bhagavatam, time and again, we have seen the pastimes of devotees who have approached Krishna with material desires, but then they eventually purified. We see in the case of Gajendra, so he was just asking to be protected because he was being, bitten by the crocodile. We see Bali Maharaj, what he wanted was kingdom. We see Sudama, he was, a poor Brahmana and he needed some wealth. Whether we see Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted a kingdom. So like that we see Kardama Muni, he wanted to marry. So whoever, for whatever desire, whether material or spiritual, the whole point is approach Krishna. That's the right way to go about it. But again, all said and done, the purification process or the duration of purification will change from person to person. For example, Dhruva Maharaj, within 6 months, he could see the Lord Mukha-mukhi, face to face. And after seeing the Lord, he said, I don't want any more kingdom and all. I have got you. What else can I ask? Everything else is like the broken pieces of mirror. But if you see Maharaj Purarava, when he did the yagam, the fire sacrifice, and when Lord Vishnu came, he didn't say, oh, I have got you, now I don't need anything. He said, no, excuse me, I want Urvashi. Please give me Urvashi. And Lord gave him Urvashi. But after that, of course, he got eventually purified. But then and there he was not. So we cannot always expect that the moment they see the Lord, immediately they may give up their material desires. Sometimes the duration may differ from person to person. But ultimately, they will be purified. But then those who do not approach the Lord, but approach the demigods or semi-gods or whatever, their desire may be immediately fulfilled, but there is no guarantee of purification. Like we see in the case of Kamsa, we see in case of Ravana, Kamsa was worshipping Durga Devi, but no change in heart. Ultimately, he wanted to kill Krishna. We see Ravana was worshipping Shiva, no change in heart. Ultimately, he wanted to have Lord's wife for his enjoyment. We see Hiranyakashipu, he worshipped Brahma, but ultimately he wanted to become Amar. He didn't want to have death. He wanted to be, Chiranjeevi. So there was no apparent purification. But when devotees like Dhruva and Sudama and all, they approach the Lord, then they ultimately get purified. So yes, Krishna is like a Chintamani stone. Anybody who approaches Krishna with no matter what kind of desire or whatever desire, ultimate benefit will be that they will be purified. Now, one thing may come in our heart, one question, that if I console myself saying that it's okay to ask material things to Krishna, it's all right to ask material things to Krishna, then I may end up asking material things for the rest of my life, and I'll never come to the level of pure devotional service. So is it not more safer to not ask material things to Krishna and ask only spiritual? Because it's like fake it till you make it. So even if I don't have that bhava, I will only ask for spiritual things and I'll somehow try to get to that level. But if I ask material things, maybe I will just get into that cycle and I may always be on that level. No, not really, because even though when we ask material desires from Krishna, simultaneously there are certain process that we follow. It's not that we only ask from him. There is certain things we do, like we intellectually nourish ourselves on regular basis by reading Bhagavatam, reading the different commentaries of Vaishnavacharyas, by associating with devotees, by taking prasadam. So we are actually, going with that process of purification simultaneously when that is happening. So we intellectually nourish ourselves and we also keep our heart open to experiences. So as we keep practicing devotional service and we keep serving and we keep associating with the Vaishnavas, yes, we experience so much bliss and happiness that maybe automatically those material desires which were so significant for us and which were center of our life may eventually not be center of our life anymore, and they may just get diluted, and maybe at one point of time they may not be in your list also. But the simultaneous process has to happen. You cannot only keep asking. You should also nourish yourself on regular basis by chanting and hearing and reading and associating and taking the right kind of diet. So this both things has to simultaneously happen. But again, there may be some category of people who may only ask, and they don't want to follow any purificatory process, or they are not reading and hearing. Then what happens is that ultimately they will become like, in India, Srila Prabhupada started this life membership program for those who don't want to practice Krishna consciousness actively, but at the same time want to help a little bit the mission with their wealth. So they just give some charity and they indirectly serve Krishna. So what happens is that just they're being pious and nice, and then yes, again they will get opportunity in next life, and then again they'll get opportunity in next life, and to get more serious about their bhajan. So that chance is there, but if somebody is delaying it, unnecessary delaying it, we never know, because we have already taken millions of births already by this time. So we don't know how many births more, and we may just continue as sattvic people. So that is why even if we are asking material desires from Krishna, we should simultaneously be very active in practicing our in our bhakti practices, and we should be very serious about them. At the same time, if there are some people who are only want to be on that level where they just come once in a 6 months or once in a year just for, like, I don't know about in the West, but in India there are many such very famous temples. Like we have this Balaji, Tirupati in South India, and we have Govardhan in Vrindavan, where even materialistic people who may not have any knowledge about spirituality would just go and visit the Lord because they just want their one particular desire to be fulfilled. So they just make some promises and go and then give some charity and then again come back after 2 years with some other desire. So that's all right, because we can't do much about people. We can help people who are unable, but we can't help people who are unwilling. So with that kind of people, they may perpetually continue that kind of relationship with the Lord. So anyway, you're coming back to our, what's the time? Okay, so coming back to our this. Prabhupada here says very wonderfully that yes, everybody is qualified to get the Lord. So here Dhruva Maharaj is, just to sum up what we spoke today, is that how Dhruva Maharaj is not a pretender, he's not a hypocrite, he's very honest about it. To his spiritual master, this is where I stand and I'm unable to accept your instruction, and your instruction may be good but not for me. So it's a good lesson for us also that we shouldn't be pretender, and from wherever we are we can start from there. The amount of time that we spend in proving to people that how good devotee we are, even if 1/4 of that time we spend in actually becoming devotee, it will be so much beneficial to us and we can progress in our spiritual life. And then we spoke from the purport how Srila Prabhupada says that everybody is qualified to get Krishna. Even if you have a sarva kama, akama, no kama, or material kama, or moksha kama, we should worship the Lord. So we spoke about how it's okay to ask material things to Krishna, but it should be done with proper spiritual practices. And sometimes if we only ask spiritual things to Krishna, ignoring our present material status, our relationship with Krishna may become superficial. So only material things asking, then also relationship is superficial. If it's only material, then you only have a utilitarian relationship with Krishna, where Krishna becomes your provider, A to Z supplier, give me this, give me this, give me that. Then it is a superficial relationship. If only spiritual, it becomes superficial. But if you have, if you ask something to Krishna, which is your present problem, keeping in mind your future relationship with Krishna and how you want to go about it, then your relationship becomes very deep and real. With this, I will pause here and I will open the a session for suggestions, corrections and questions. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. To sum up your question, you said how should we be stable in our Krishna consciousness and how should we keep inspiring ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Stability in Krishna consciousness comes with Shravanam, Kirtanam. I'm sorry, am I audible? Yeah. Shravanam, Kirtanam and association. Yeah, regularly hearing helps a lot. If our hearing goes down, then we can actually see the difference in our consciousness, difference in quality of chanting, difference in quality of interaction with the other co-devotees. Everything comes down when our Shravanam goes weak. So the only way to inspire ourselves is to associate with devotees who are very energetic in Krishna consciousness, and then of course Bhagavatam. If we continuously read and hear and associate with inspiring devotees, we will always be enthusiastic, because this enthusiasm is so contagious. If we are associating with the devotees, automatically we will also become enthusiastic. Yes.
Also clear our vision to Krishna.
Okay, what I understand your question is that sometimes when we are chanting, we are thinking about, what this devotee will think about me, or there are certain situation where you want to answer them and you want to clarify, but then this clarification is disturbing your chanting. So should I just think that it's okay, Krishna knows who I am, or should I actually clarify situations and things with devotees? Well, actually the whole point is there are two relationships that we have to have parallelly, is a horizontal relationship with the devotees and a vertical relationship with Krishna. And only if we have the best relationship with Krishna but no proper relationship with the devotees, it doesn't work. And if we have only wonderful relationship with the devotees but we are not doing our sadhana and chanting in our time with Krishna properly, then also it's going to anyway affect your horizontal relationship. So both need to be balanced in a proper way. Now what we can do now in this kind of situation is, whatever things are under our control, we can go ahead and clarify with the devotees so that we don't make aparadh, and things which are not under our control, we leave it on Krishna. So that is how we manage things. So whatever your particular situation is, if you think yes, it's possible to make a clarification, then go ahead and do it. And those things where you see they're not under your control, there is no way you can convince the other person, then you just leave it on Krishna. Because we definitely need to also give importance to other devotees, because if the devotees are unhappy with us, we can't be like, who cares what they think about me? My Lord knows who I am. No, that doesn't work like that when we are living in a community. We need to follow the rules and principles, and we need to be humble. And if at all any devotee is misunderstanding us, yes, we must go and clarify and seek forgiveness and give clarification. But those things which are not under our control, we can't do much about it. Then there is no point of going on thinking about it and feeling bad. And one other way is to pray Krishna in helping you sort out those differences, or helping you to get the right words at the right time to give the right clarification, because Krishna in your heart as Paramatma and Krishna in that devotee's heart as Paramatma, you can pray. So that way, even while doing that, you are remembering Krishna. So the whole point is to remember Krishna. In fact, there is this in the 10th canto, that particular pastime where the gopis are praying to Narayan that please protect Krishna in the 10th canto. Then Prabhupada tells in the purport that all should pray like that for their own protection and their children's protection to Krishna. And then Prabhupada says, even when you are taking medicine, then you should remember Vishnu. You should say Vishnu, you should say Krishna, and then take the tablet, because tablet does not give you protection. It's actually Krishna who is giving you that protection, not the medicine. So wherever you see, Prabhupada is always telling us that no matter what you do, remember Krishna. So even in this kind of situation, when we have to make a clarification or seek validation, this also we do in in relation with Krishna, keeping Krishna in center and keeping Krishna in remembrance by praying to Krishna that our clarification will be well understood and well taken by that person. So we can always say that Krishna, if you so desire, if you so think this is appropriate, then please let this happen. Please let this devotee understand what I am trying to. So that way, somehow or the other, keep Krishna in your prayer and in your remembrance all the time. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. The right intelligence will also come at the right time if Krishna is in the center. Don't have your clarification and validation separately from Krishna. Then that kind of things are of no use. But just keep Krishna in center of everything that's happening.
Like how one can continue to remain humble and also truthful to oneself so that one can make progress in spiritual life.
Okay, so very wonderful question that over a period of time when we get senior in Krishna consciousness, and there are many people who walk in new, they may praise us and sometimes it may get to our head. So what do we do? So that is why every devotee needs to have three kinds of association in their life. Like Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instruction, better to have a association of seniors and association of devotees who are on the same level and association of the juniors. So if we are somehow by Krishna's arrangement put in a place where we have only association with juniors, then it's very risky. It's like walking on a knife, very difficult. So one should always seek association, even if physically it's not possible in whatever yatra we are in. Maybe we are the leaders of that yatra. So we should always seek association of somebody in some other yatra by way of phone calls or emails or WhatsApps or some or the other way, so that at least somebody can keep us in check. And if possible, at least once in a while to take a break and go and serve some devotees who are senior to us in a menial way, whatever way possible. If they are in some other yatra, actually going there and at least have some weeks association where we give them some, serve them in some other way and we hear them. And sometimes even in association of the devotees who are junior to us, together we can hear some other devotee, and that way humble ourselves. So like that, some small little tips we can keep on doing on a regular basis, so that because this is such a risky position. I think all the leaders in ISKCON have to face this, because they will be leading some yatra and that you will be the only senior devotee, and definitely everybody gives a lot of praise and all, and it's not that they are doing it hypocritically, because for them maybe the yatra leader is really the one and the only special, because they brought him into Krishna consciousness and they look up on them. But we should always have this three kind of association. We should not keep ourselves bereft of senior association. So somehow or the other, make time, we charge our phone at the end of the day after using it. We have to charge ourselves at the end of the month or the end of the week, or some way or the other make a routine in our Krishna conscious life that I will spend this much time of preaching, but I will also again go and recharge myself by taking senior association, or by taking association of those devotees who are on the same level with us, and especially those who are who have affection for us and who will actually take time to correct us. Sometimes even in senior association, if they are not willing to correct us, then like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Sajatiya, Snigdha, they should have affection for us, they should be like-minded, they should be better than us. And of course, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur adds one more word, Anindaka. They should not be critical. So if we are taking their association, not that they are criticizing somebody, then unnecessarily we get disturbed. But if these four qualities are there, better to go and seek association of those kind of devotees who are a little bit further in practicing Krishna consciousness than us, then that will nourish us. Because it's like this, we give, but we also take. If we are not taking and only giving, then we will be drained one fine day. So we are making withdrawals, we also have to deposit. And that deposit happens when we associate with those who are senior to us and serve them in a menial way, so that our ego is protected. Ego is protected or not protected. I'm sorry, our ego is killed, or rather our ego is subdued is the right word. So that should be done. That should be done. Yeah, sure. I think one other way, I'm just reflecting on Narottam Prabhu's question. I think our spouse also can play a good role in making us humble. If once in a while we can ask a feedback from our spouse on how good and great we are, and they can give us a real picture. Even if everybody is glorifying, I'm sure they'll always have something to say about you which we don't know. Mataji, can you go a little slow? I'm unable to understand. Little slow. Such a beautiful question you asked. That Dhruva Maharaj got anger, which is an anartha, but anger got converted into something so glorious that we are reading about him in Srimad Bhagavatam. But we get anger, we get, even our chanting also gets destroyed. Whatever little bit we are doing, that much also we can't continue. So the only difference is that Dhruva Maharaj, he channelized his anger in a positive way with the help of a guru. So even we need to do that with the help of a mentor or a guru, channelize our, like Narottam Das Thakur said, right? Get angry for Krishna's devotee, or get the greed in for hearing Krishna's katha. So we can also practically actually channelize our anger, or, but we just need some external help. We can't do it on our own. The housefly stuck inside the honey bottle cannot come out by its own. A hand has to go in to bring it out. We just need some help, somebody, and we just need to be honest. So from wherever we are, in whatever situation we are, if we are honest and we have the right mentor, this is where I am, and with the help of the mentor, we can actually dovetail that particular weakness that we have into our strength. But we just need to have that right mentor, because even the science says that the energy cannot be destroyed, it can be only converted. So whatever that anger we have or something, we just have to convert it in the right way. I'm just something I'm coming on the top of my mind is Prabhupada. Some devotee, Prabhupada said to some devotee, "You're doing very good kirtan." So he said, "Prabhupada, sometimes I feel very proud about, my doing very nice kirtan." So Prabhupada said, "That's all right. It's okay to feel proud about it, but continue, continue that standard, continue to do well in kirtan." Now I'm paraphrasing it, but my whole intention was that it's okay if we want to be glorified. But the whole point is, let us make ourselves qualified for that glorification instead of craving for it without being qualified. Just superficially trying to get it by pretense or hypocrisy is not the right thing to do. See, for example, in those days, the kings, when they used to get up in the morning, every day the soldiers used to glorify them. The king who has won so many other kingdoms and he has extended his boundaries and he is like this and he is virtuous and all. But you know what? The whole point is, they didn't have some social media working on increasing their public, impression. They were actually pursuing and working on making themselves virtuous. So if we are even having any material desire to be glorified, or that is also all right. If we work in that direction, I want to become the best devotee, I want to become the best kirtanir, I want to become the best, that's all right. Even if you have that materialistic desire and that passion, it will keep you, it will act as a fuel, and you will become more serious. I want to be the best devotee, I want to become the best singer, best cook, best mala, best deity decoration. That's all right, no harm. As long as you want to genuinely become best, and not becoming best by pretense, or by some kind of, makeup which will make me look best. That is condemned. But in seriously, somebody wants to become best and wants to do work in that direction, it is actually good and healthy. Then being a devotee who is like, let him be best, I will take rest. Then that is no use. Being, if that is making us lazy in Krishna consciousness, that anyway I don't have any material desires, anyway I don't have, let them be. So instead, this is much better. See what Dhruva Maharaj could do. I won the kingdom, and in the pursuit of that, he approached the God and he became so glorious. But if we have no such aspirations and it's okay, let him, then ultimately we will be going down in Krishna consciousness. In my personal life, many, many years ago, I don't know how many, but I went for Govardhan Parikrama with the congregation devotees of our temple, and they were going very slow. So I was thinking to myself, oh, they're going so slow. If I walk with them, I don't know when I will reach. So I just started walking very fast on my own with another Mataji. But then after some time, I had a pain in my leg and I was like, I don't think I can do it. And then, the various way Maya attacked me, asking me all kinds of questions. Oh, you will be tired. Tomorrow you have a program in Hyderabad. You have a flight. So, and then I started thinking about the other devotees who were in the back. Oh, I started thinking critically about them. Oh, why they are able to do it with so much enthusiasm? Oh, because they have material desires, so they can do it. What is there? Even if I can't do it this time, I'll do it next time. What is there? They will be going to Visakhapatnam and taking rest, but I have another 100 programs to do. So so many things happened with me. In the way Maya attacked me, asking all kinds of questions to my mind, and then I lost it. And then I called for an auto and I said, no, I'm going back. And I didn't do it. Whereas they were all very new devotees, and probably they just wanted to do Govardhan Parikrama, probably because their daughter wasn't getting married or somebody had some desire, but they all successfully did it. Then when I went back, I was thinking that, oh my God, it's better to have material desire than to be lethargic in Krishna consciousness. At least because of that desire, they had that fuel. Even though they were old, some of them had health problem, they did it, But having no desire may sometimes make you like, it's okay, what is there? If not today, I'll do it next year, I'll do it tomorrow. It may make us lazy and lethargic. So Dhruva Maharaj did amazing, but how he could dovetail his anger was, he channelized in the right way with the guidance of his mother, who told Dhruva Maharaj, don't become envious of your brother Uttama, don't think ill of your mother Suruchi, don't become so nicely she guided that, don't dovetail your anger in a wrong way. What we do is, when we become angry on somebody, we start becoming envious of them, that this should happen, that should happen, why they are, we do it in a wrong way. But what happened here, when Dhruva Maharaj got insulted, his mother guided rightly, that dovetail your anger in the right way. You are angry, you are feeling that passion, go to the forest and do tapasya, but don't wish ill for them. So that is the difference. Here, what I did in the Govardhan Parikrama, instead of getting that passion, I was like, they can take rest, they have nothing to do. What I'm doing is, I started criticizing devotees just because I'm unable to do it. So, okay, and see what I did to myself. So this is what happens. So if we have a right guru at that time, somebody, to guide you at that time, then we can dovetail even our weaknesses in a strong way. If probably my husband or somebody who was more senior to me would have been there with me at that time, they would have guided, oh, that's not about material or spiritual desire, just complete it. So what? You can take rest, so what? You can take rest in the flight. Somebody would have pushed, then it would have happened. So you always need that somebody in your life. Then even our weaknesses can become our strength. But alone, on our own, we don't know what we will do with that. We may become offenders, Vaishnava offenders, we may start committing aparadh, and we may get into that cycle and go more down and down, Yeah, that's what comes in my mind just now, yeah. I hope it helps.
Is that the right way to think?
I just spoke about it that somehow or the other we have to have a relationship with Krishna. So even if you have no desire, it's okay, but somehow pray to Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, you see 20% of Srimad Bhagavatam content is prayers, prayers, prayers and prayers. So we need to do stuti, we need to do prayers, we need to be continuously in connection with Krishna. So how do you do it? It's up to you. So it's okay not to ask anything to Krishna. As of now, if you don't need anything, you are fine. But talk to Krishna and keep him in the loop of whatever is happening in your life and let him be the partner. And make it a habit to keep him in your thoughts. I remember as a young girl, my mom had trained sisters, to share everything with Krishna. Even we bought a pencil, we used to go and show it to him. Krishna, I got a pencil today, I got a frock today, I stood first in the class, this what happened, that what happened. So it was like a daily routine to go and talk to him and make him a part of everything. And in fact, when we bought new dresses for us, my mom got new dresses for our Gopalji also and the new cap for Gopalji also. So he was so much part of our family. So yeah, that's the whole point. Focus on connection to Krishna. That's the focus. Now, how do you do it? It's up to you.
Important and last question is, when are you coming to Toronto?
That's a good question. I don't know. We can discuss that sometime. I don't know when the climate and all is good, because I'm so averse to cold climate. So I get, very quickly I get cold. So I don't know, when is summer there, I can come at that time. Thank you so much. I had an equally good time with all of you. Please keep me in your prayers. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.